Okay, we're going to be working in lesson 9-4. And what we're going to be working on in this lesson is we're going to work on, says solve by factoring. So we're still going to be doing our factoring. Okay, it's just now we're going to put an equal sign in the game and figure out what the heck we need to do there. Okay, so we're still going to factor. Just now, how does this look when we have it in form of an equation? Okay, so when I look here at 1A, this one is always one of the hardest ones, but it's the easiest one. They have already factored for you, okay? So when you already have your factors, when it's set equal to 0, this is called zero product property. When you have two factors equal to 0, you can then just set each one, so 4r plus 1, and set it equal to 0, and the r minus 2, and set it equal to 0. Again, that's called zero product property, and you can just set each part equal to 0, and now we're just going to solve. So we're going to subtract the 1 over, so we get 4r equals negative 1, and then we're going to divide by 4 and get negative 1/4. Okay, so there's one answer. On this guy, I'm going to add the 2 over and get r equals 2. Okay, and that's it. Those are your two solutions. So I have two answers for this up here. It could either be a negative 1/4 or it could be a 2. Okay, so let's go to the next one here. Okay, so now on zero product property, it states that you must set it equal to 0 first. So we have got to go ahead and move this 6x over to the other side. So we will have x squared minus 6x equals 0. Okay, so always set equal to 0 first. So I'm going to kind of put a step over here. Step 1. Set equal to 0. Okay, step 2. You factor it. So whatever you've got to figure out how to factor. So in this case, I can't square root of 6, but I do have a GCF. So I'm going to pull out an x, and I'm going to get x minus 6 left. And that's still equal to 0. Okay, now take each factor and set it equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to take the x and set it equal to 0, and the x minus 6 and set it equal to 0. Now, obviously, there's nothing you can do here. X equals 0, that's done. But on the second part here, I need to go ahead and move the 6 over and get x equals 6. And that's your second answer. So on step, after we factor, step 3, set each factor equal to 0 and solve. Okay, so set each factor equals 0 and solve. Okay, now something really important here to point out is this guy right here will tell you how many answers you should have. So if you have a 2 here, you get 2 answers, right? 2 answers. If I were to put a 4 up here, then you should have 4 different answers. If I put a 10 here, then you get 10 different answers. So whatever this exponent is, it tells you how many solutions you should end up with. Okay? All right, let's look at C. So again, first step, set equal to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and move this 100 over. So I get 9n squared minus 100 equals 0. Okay, now step 2, factor. Well, in this case, this is a difference of squares. Can I square root? Yes. Do I have subtraction? Yes. And can I square root? Yes. So then you need to go ahead and do that. So we're going to get 3n minus 10 and 3n plus 10. And that's going to be set equal to 0. So now take each factor, and set each one equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to add the 10 over on this first one, and then I'm going to divide by 3, so n equals 10 thirds. There's one answer. Okay, on the second part here, I'm going to subtract the 10 over, and so I'm going to get 3n equals negative 10, and then I'm going to divide all the parts by 3, and I'm going to get n equals negative 10 thirds. Okay, so again, this guy right here was squared. It told me I should have 2 answers, and in this case, my answers are 10 thirds and negative 10 thirds. Okay, on D here, now again, we have to set equal to 0. Okay, set it equal to 0. Now, what's important though is you do need to put this in standard form. So I'm going to bring this 5x and I'm going to drop it right here in the middle. So technically, I'm subtracting the 5x over to this side. Okay, so I've got x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. Again, notice how I have this in standard form, okay? Now, go ahead and factor. So I'm looking for factors of negative 14 that get me negative 5. So 2 and 7 kind of pop into my head right away. And so this would be a negative 7. That way I can get a negative 5. So I have x plus 2 and x minus 7 equal to 0. So now x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 7 equals 0 and solve. So x will equal negative 2 and x will equal 7. And those are my two solutions for this equation. Okay, so on this one, now, kind of like this one, it's already set equal to 0. So right off the bat here, I now need to look for GCF. There's no GCF. So I'm going to go ahead and start my list. I've got 1 times 3, 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. Okay, again, I'm going to be looking at my inside, outsides, okay? So you're just starting right. 1 times 24 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3. That does not give me a 17. Important to talk about, right? Our sign should be a negative, negative. That's the only way to get a negative right here, okay? So I'm going to erase this. Oh, I forgot to erase that beforehand. Oh, well. All right, on the next guy here. I'm going to go ahead and shoot down here and look at this 1 times 8 and get 8, and 3 times 3 and get 9. And then if I make them both negative, that gets me my negative 17. So I'm going to do a 1, 3 and a 3, 8 combo here. So when I look at this, I've got a 1y and a 3y. We already know the signs are both negative. And then on the back side, I've got my 3, 8. And that equals 0. Okay, now set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So I've got y minus 3 equal to 0, 3y minus 8 equals 0. So when I add the 3 over, I get y equals 3. On this one, 3y equals 8, and then I divide and get 8 thirds. So my answer is 8 thirds and 3. And again, notice how I have an exponent of 2, so it means I get 2 answers. Okay. All right, so on this guy, again, we have to make sure it's standard form and set it equal to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and move this 6 over into the middle here. So I've got 3x squared plus 6x minus 45 equals 0. Now, in this case, I actually have a GCF I need to pull. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a 3 out and get x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Okay, now that I have that, now I'm going to look for factors of negative 15 that get me 2. So 5 and 3 kind of pop in right away, and I'm probably going to go ahead and make that 3 a negative. That way I can get a 2. Keep in mind, I have to have a positive-negative combination to get a negative 15 there. So now the 3 stays out front. I've got x plus 5 and x minus 3 equal to 0. Now, in this case, again, you set all parts equal to 0. So 3 equals 0. X plus 5 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. Now, in this case, on this first guy right here, I mean, this doesn't make sense. 3 cannot equal 0, so we just throw it out. Be careful, though. If for some reason, let's say there was an x on it, and it was 3x equals 0, now you have an answer. You can divide by 3 and say x equals 0. So just be careful of this, because you cross it off when there's no variable, but if there's a variable, you got an answer, okay? So moving kind of back over, though, to our problem here. So we cross out that first part. Here, x will equal negative 5, because you're subtracting 5 over. And then x will equal positive 3, because you're adding that over to the other side. And those are going to be my 2 answers. Again, right here it tells me I should have 2 solutions. All right, let's go to the next page here. All right, on this one, they're asking us to find the area. So area of a rectangle, hopefully we know is already length times width, okay? So they're going to have you take x times, and we got x plus 2, equal to 15. Now, in this case, you do have to go ahead and multiply this x through and still set equal to 0, okay? So we still have to do factoring and all of that, but you have to set it equal to 0 first, always, okay? So on this one, I've got x squared plus 2x equals 15. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get set equal to 0 and get x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. So again, I'm looking for factors of negative 15 that get me 2. So 5 and 3 pop into my head. I should have a positive and a negative, and I'm going to make that 3 negative. So I've got x plus 5 and x minus 3 equals 0. So now when I solve it, x plus 5, set that equal to 0. X minus 3, set that equal to 0. I end up with negative 5 and positive 3. Now, since we're talking a shape here, only one of these answers is going to make sense. Okay, so I actually have to throw this guy out. There's no way for me to have a negative 5 length. Can't happen. Okay, so I'm going to throw that guy out. But this other guy right here, he could work. So if I look here, my width will be 3, and my length is 3 plus 2, or 5. So I have a 3 meter by 5 meter rectangle here. Okay. All right, let's try another one. All right, triangle. So on this one, right, we've got 1/2 base times height. So I've got 1/2, my base is x, and my height is x plus 1. And that's going to be set equal to your area of 36. Okay? Now, to start off with here, all I'm going to do is distribute this x through. We'll talk about the half here in a second. So I've got 1/2. I've got x squared plus 1x, or x, equals 36. Now, to get rid of a fraction, we don't usually factor with fractions involved. It's just bad, okay? So one of the things we can do is we can actually clear the fraction out by just multiplying by the reciprocal. But keep in mind, what you do to one side, you've actually got to do that to the other. So this will all go away over here. I still have my x squared plus x. And then on this right-hand side, I'm going to get a 72. So just kind of keep in mind, if you've got a fraction, try to just multiply it and take it over the other side. Hopefully, you'll get a whole number, no fractions involved. Okay, so now go ahead and we got to set equal to 0. So x squared plus x minus 72 equals 0. And so factors of negative 72 that get me positive 1. Again, I need a positive negative. 8 and 9 kind of pop into my head. And then let's have a negative 8. That way we get the positive 1 in the middle. So I've got x minus 8, x plus 9 equal to 0. So x minus 8 equals 0, x plus 9 equals 0. So I get 8 or a negative 9. Now, we just talked, negative is not going to happen here. You can't have a negative length. But 8 would work. So up here, I'm going to come up here. So this will be an 8, and this is 8 plus 1, or 9. So I have an 8-foot by 9-foot triangle there. And that's my answer. Okay. All right, last one. We are finally going to get to start looking at vertical motion problems, projectile problems, like if you're throwing a football, hitting a golf ball, launching a cannon at someone, launching a missile. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Anything that's being projected or thrown, pretty much. This formula will take care of a lot of stuff, okay? All right, so your H, okay, this will be your finishing height or your final height. So finish height. Okay, finish height. T is still time. Okay, V, this is your velocity, which is just simply your speed, velocity. Now, it depends on which textbook or who's writing it out. Sometimes you'll see a C here, and sometimes you'll say an H sub 0. Okay, and what that is this is your sub-zero just means, this means start. Okay, so anytime you see that, we're talking about your starting height here. Okay, your start height. Okay, all right, so Brad tossed a baseball in the air from a height of 6 feet with an initial upward velocity of 14 feet per second. Evan caught the ball on its way down at a height of 4 feet above ground. How long was the ball in the air before Evan caught it? All right, so now the question is asking us how long. That is your T. That's what we are going to have to find, okay? So it says that he tosses a ball at 6 feet. So this is your start height. This is your C or your H sub 0, okay? So depending on which one you see. 6 feet. Initial velocity of 4 feet per second. That's your V. Okay, then it says Evan caught a ball on its way down. So if it's on its way down and he catches it at the end, that's his finishing height, or that's your H. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just plug in these numbers. So my H value was 4 equals negative 16t squared plus your velocity is 14t, and then your start height was at 6. Okay. All right, so now you're doing exactly what we've been doing before. Set it equal to 0. So I've got 0 equals. Now keep in mind, I'm going to subtract the 4, and I'm actually going to bring it over here and put it with that 6. I've got negative 16t squared. I've got a plus 14t and a plus 2. Now, GCFs on this are huge. You've got to remember to pull the GCFs. And more importantly, we started talking early on about how we wanted to keep your first one positive. Well, here's when we want to start doing that, okay? So we are going to pull out a GCF of a negative 2 because I want this first number to be a positive. So I've got a positive 8t squared. I have a minus 7t and then a minus 1. Okay, now you need to go ahead and start your list here. 1 times 8, 2 times 4, and 1 times 1. Okay, so now I need a 7, still a positive negative combination, so we know we're subtracting, right? We're going to subtract. So if I look here, 1 times 1 is 1, 8 times 1 is 8, and if I make that 8 negative, that's going to get me negative 7 in the middle. So I have a 1, 8, 1, 1 combo here. So 0 equals negative 2, 1t, 8t, and I have a 1 and a 1. And then I want your outsides, right? If I'm looking here, I want outsides to be a positive. So this is going to be a plus, and this is going to be your negative. Okay. So now set each part equal to 0 and solve. So I'm going to take 0 and set it equal to negative 2. Obviously, that's out. There's no variable in the game. I'm going to take 0 and equal it to 1t minus 1. And I'm going to take 0 and equal to 8t plus 1. So now I'm going to add the 1 over. So I just end up with 1. Here I'm going to subtract the 1, and then I'm going to divide, and I'm going to get negative 1/8. Now, if I'm looking at these two answers, again, only one's going to make sense. You can't go negative 1/8 of a second, okay? But you can go 1 second, right? So when we come back up here and look at this, how long was the ball in the air? It was in the air for 1 second before Evan caught it, okay? And that concludes these notes.